form controls and form builder, form group and form control and form builder. In form builder service, we learned about how to use a form group and how to use a control and how to use an array so that you can dynamically control the form. You can add, remove elements from the form. One more point is there you need to know about. So reactive form validation. Reactive form validations, how to handle. Same concept, but what is difference is validation is same. The difference is you don't need to write any validations in validations. You don't need to write in controls. So, but messages all you have to design same. Validation you don't need to write in the controls. That means actually validations are defined for controls. Validations are defined for controls in a controller. In controller is nothing but in the TS file, in the logic, in the controller. So UI elements will just use the validations. No need to configure validation at UI level. That is what the concept. You don't need to configure validation at UI level. So you need to just define the validations in the controller itself. For that, so reactive form uses validators. It uses validators class that provides a set of validators. Like what are the validators? We have like required, like min length. We have like max length. We have like pattern. All these are provided by that. So whatever the validations that you have used for HTML elements, same. Only the point is you need to define validations separate. How? So for example, you are using a form builder and you are creating a form group. That means name is a control. And for that control, we define value. What is the value? After that, we will put validators. Validators is an array. So in that array, you can define validations. What is the validation? We have like required validation. So you have like min length. Like that, we can define validations. These are validators array. You can put all the validation messages there. That is just syntax. So how the validations work? Let's see one simple example. In the front end, it will be very clean for presentation. So I'm adding another component here just for your understanding sake. I will add a new component. Yeah, in the components ng generate component reactive validation. Skip test. I'm adding reactive validation one component. Okay, let's keep this reactive validation in startup. So reactive validation. Okay, in index, I will keep it reactive validation. Okay. Now, reactive validation is currently working. So we will access reactive validation is currently working. Okay. Let's create a simple form for handling validation. In this first step, how to configure, we learned one simple approach. So we need to import. So we need to import a form builder from Angular forms. Then we need to inject that in the constructor. We will inject the form builder service private form builder. It is of what type? Form builder type. Okay. Then we will configure a form. So we have public FRM register is equal to FB dot this dot FB dot group. In the group, we are configuring name, and for this name, this dot FB dot control. Value is empty. After that, we need to define validators. It's an array. We need to import validators array. We need to import another class validators. Validators is a collection of validations. In this, which validation you want to keep for name? So we have to just define validators dot required. I want to set another validation. So then again, validators dot min length. If it is min length, then what is the minimum length? Number we have to define 4. That's it. So that is how we add all the validations. Validation, min length, min, max. Even you can write a pattern also. Suppose it is mobile. So this dot FB dot what? Control. And here we have to define validators. So validators dot required. Mobile is also required, and validators dot pattern. I want to use a pattern. Usually patterns are written in double slash. In that pattern is mobile should slash plus 91 and slash D 10 digits number. That is the pattern to validate the mobile. So patterns, min length, max length, required, everything same, no change. And in JavaScript, already you know regular expressions are written in double slash. Regular expressions are written in slash. Verification of regular expression done in slash. Now here, what we need to do, just attach this to your form. So go to HTML form. So we will design the form here. And this is container fluid. And we have a form. And heading is register. We need to mark this as, what is it? Form group. Form group is FRM register. And data list, data term, so name. Data definition, input type text. And here we have to just define form control name. Form control name, so it is name. That's it. You don't need to write required. You don't need to write min length. Those attributes will be working on this automatically. Because this control name is having validations, it will apply them to this text box. Earlier, what we have to do, we have to write the validations in the control. You don't need to write any validations now. But messages you have to write. That means what message should come if required is not satisfied. Then those messages are same. Data definition, you know how to show the messages. What is it? Class, I will give text danger. It should display when we will use ng if. Ng if what? If FRM register dot So FRM register dot submitted, right? If it is submitted this FRM register, validation, invalid, right? Here we will just use this not submitted. Just what is that? Name is the field, and the name is what? Name is touched. Okay. If name is touched, and you can see it is unable to access this name, it says doesn't exist. Let's see, because we already know if we want to deal with these validations here, we cannot access these elements directly. So we need an accessor. Na? So we need an accessor. Get, what is it? Name. What this have to return? It should return this dot FRM register dot get. Get which one? Name. You need to configure that. Another get is what? Mobile. And return. It should return this dot FRM register dot get what? Mobile. Okay. Now here we are accessing. So here we are accessing name, right? If name is what? Touched. If name is touched and it is end, it is name dot invalid. Some problem, possibly null. It is showing why it says it is showing nullable type. So that means it is having null. Yesterday we learned type as what type? Form control type. As what? Form control type. Because it is returning null. We don't want to return null. Form control. Form control and as form control. Form control. Now it is okay. If name is touched and if it is invalid, what should happen? If name is touched and it is invalid, what should happen? We have to put two messages. One message is what? Name required. Another message, another is name to short. Now here, when this required should come, we have to use ng if. These are same like previous, right? Already we previously template driven messages we given. Only the point is your text box need not to define any validation. In the UI it is simple. Now here what to do? So ng if, when these two should display, here we have to use name dot what? Errors dot what? Which is the error it is looking for required. So here also same. So it is name dot errors dot, it is what? Min length. That is what we need to define. Same thing, we are using another data term. This is for what? Mobile. So data definition input type is equal to text. Form control name. Form control name is mobile. And here data definition. For mobile, two validations are there. We will keep the same here. So what is the two validations? Here we have class text danger. And here we are using ng if. Ng if mobile dot what? Touched. Mobile touched and mobile dot invalid. Then we need two messages here. One is mobile required. Another message is invalid mobile. Invalid mobile plus 91 and 10 digits. Now here we have to put ng if. What is this? We need to define mobile dot errors. Errors dot which one? Required error. And here ng if. This should be related to what? Mobile dot errors. Errors of what? Pattern error. That is how we need to configure. Now we will keep a simple submit button here, button as the register. Okay, now you can see these are the elements we have. Now when I am clicking inside name and not typing, it says name required. I am entering some name, so some name, and it will display the name too short. So I am entering some name, Samsung, so mobile. Now it is okay. Mobile, I am entering some 76523456789 digit number, but not valid. So here it is not valid. Why? Because it should start with the +91. Now it is fine. These are the validations now working for your elements. And remember, there is no validation written for element. We are not writing any validation for element. From where these validations are applied? They are applied from the controller. So reactive form validations, all validations are defined in the controller level. So in template validations, the validations all are written in the UI. That's the reason UI becomes heavy. Here now UI is very clean. It contains only element. But messages you have to display. There is no chance. There is no alternative for that. What messages you want to show, that you have to design. That is compulsory. But your controls need not to use any validation. This is the concept of reactive form validation. Validators, how do we define? So we have to define name. This is fb.control, and we have default value and array. In this array, we have to add validators dot required like this. We have like validators dot min length like this. How many characters? So you have to write like this. This is how generally we configure the syntax. We define the syntaxes and configure the syntax. These comes under the category of reactive validation. So example I will give here, same reactive validation dot component dot ts. This is the TypeScript file, and reactive validation dot component dot html. This is the HTML file. This is a simple concept of dealing with validations. How we can configure the validations and handle them. So two types of forms are there in Angular. You can go with template forms or you can go with reactive form. When to use template forms? When you don't need regular extensions, changes in the forms, a stable functionality will be there, then better go with template. If a form need to change dynamically according to the situation, and you must able to add or remove controls into the form, then better go with reactive form validations, right? Reactive forms. These are the points. This is all about working with the forms, how to design the forms and handle. And all validations already I told you, you cannot manage by using all the validations. You cannot manage by using predefined validation services. You have to write custom validations also, our own validation. I already showed you drop down. We need to write our own events, our own validations, because all elements cannot use these validations. We need to manually write. We call them as custom validation. What are asynchronous validations? All reactive validations are asynchronous. All reactive validations, whatever you have used by using validators, They are all asynchronous validation, right? Yeah. Next, important after understanding this, another major concept for developing applications is routing. In Angular, another major concept is routing. Actually, what is routing and why we need routing? So, routing concept, the main purpose of routing is it is a technique. It is a technique used in web applications, used in web applications to handle navigation, So it is a technique used in web applications to handle navigation. Actually, what is the specialty? Generally, navigation is handled through links. When you develop a website, you will create links. Through links, navigation will happen. That means user clicks on one link, it will navigate to that particular location. But what is specialty of routing is generally a hyperlink also configures navigation. So, but it navigates the user from one page to another. It navigates the user from one page to another or to any named location in page. That is what hyperlink will do. Generally, hyperlink also configures navigation. Hyperlink is nothing but anchor, href, some page.html like this. Hyperlinks also configures navigation, but it navigates the user from one page to another. It is going to navigate from one page to another. What is specialty of routing is actually routing uses AJAX calls. Routing uses AJAX calls. What is the specialty of AJAX calls is user can stay on one page and can get access to everything. Get access to everything from the page. User can stay on one page and can get access to everything on that page. From that page, user can access everything. That means user will not navigate from one page to another. Everything comes onto single page. Everything comes onto single page. That means user will stay on one page and everything comes onto that page. Earlier, what we have to do, we need to navigate from one page to another. But now user will stay on one page and he will get access to everything from that page. This nature is called as, we call this as, so it is often referred as SPA. SPA is single page application. Single page application means many people have a wrong idea. So single page application means people think that it will have only one page. Single page application means it doesn't means that it is one page. Single page application means it indicates that user will stay on one page and he will not move out of that page. Everything comes onto that page. That means actually what is the specialty? So routing can load new details into page without reloading the page. That is why AJAX. That means you can add new details into the page without reloading the page. Actually, to get new details into page have to reload. Without reloading the page, you can add new details into the page. This nature is called single page application. That is the nature of single page application. For example, I will show you a simple point first. Actually, what is the example? Example is, suppose, so you are here. Whenever you start your project, you are starting with which page? Index. So whenever we are starting, so we are starting with index.html. We are starting with index.html. Actually, there are so many components. We have login. So we have register. So we have some details like that. So many components may be there. Now in this, what we do is we put links for them. We say login, we say register, like that. Now what happens generally in websites, what happens when you click on login, you will move from index page and you will go to which page? Login. But in single page application, what happens? You click on login, that login will come here. That means you will stay on that page only. You select login, login screen comes here. You select register, register comes here. That means you will not navigate out of this page. Everything comes on this page. This is very important. Why? Because, for example, see, suppose you are watching some website on mobile. When you are watching on mobile, in the first screen, it showed some options. They given a login. You clicked on login, then the first page gone and login page came. Now how to go to previous page? There is a back button. You can push the back button. On mobile smartphones like devices, using those buttons is not great. Back button and all, these are not great because they are not convenient for users on smart devices. Then what is the point? I will show you here one drawback also. Suppose you say Google. And in Google, I am searching for some Angular. Okay. Some results came. About Angular, so many results came. Millions of results came. How to see the next page results? To see next page results, I have to scroll down and at the bottom page numbers will come. Am I right? Now see how small these page numbers are. Now imagine a person who is using your website from mobile like device, how he will touch those page numbers? Very small page numbers. You might have seen lot of times in your mobiles also, you have to zoom and click on it. Have you experienced that? That is not good idea. That means any website buttons I need to zoom and select, that is not good website. That is not good interface. That means I cannot zoom and click on it. That's not good idea. That is not the good idea. Then what we have to do is design in such a way that there will be no pages. There will be no pages. See, Google people, they have implemented that. They have implemented that in images. When you go to images, you can see in images, there are no pages. Millions of images came. And see what happens when I scroll down, next set of images will be loading. Am I right? There is no next page, previous page. Everything comes on to one page. Your Facebook, your Gmails, earlier Facebook also, you scroll down, it will say next post, previous post. But now you will not see that. You scroll down, continuously new details are loading. That means Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, all these are now single page applications. They are all single page applications. Your Gmail, single page application means what? User will stay on only one page and everything comes onto that page. And this is possible by using routing. That is possible by using routing. Actually, without routing, we have to use a lot of AJAX. If you know JavaScript jQuery, through JavaScript jQuery also we can design. In the introduction, I told you, can we build single page application with JavaScript and jQuery? Yes. But lot of AJAX DOM manipulations are required. What is advantage of Angular, React like technologies? They have inbuilt library. You can easily build a single page application. They have routing. And another point is routing is not only for this purpose. Routing also enables. So routing also enables user friendly and SEO friendly URLs. SEO friendly URLs. It provides user friendly, SEO friendly URLs. Routing also enables user friendly URL, SEO friendly URLs. You can have a user friendly URL, SEO friendly. What does user friendly URLs, SEO friendly URLs? Actually, user friendly URLs means in the browser address bar, you can directly type some keywords. You don't need to type website address. You can directly type keywords. The keywords related matching websites there, it will automatically load it because browsers use a default search engine. In that search engine, they will automatically load. Earlier, it is not like that. Earlier in address bar, you have to correctly type website address only. But now it allows you to type any word. And based on that, it will take that word, use in a default search engine and show the results. That means URLs become user friendly. That means I will show you earlier. Suppose without routing, example I will show you without routing. Suppose I am accessing http://www.amazon.in electronics.jsp php something. And in electronics, there is a category. Category is mobiles. In this mobiles category, ampersand, brand. So brand is equal to some Realme like this. Now I need to add details like this. That means this is how URL will be. Now, if I want these Realme mobiles again, then I need to type this entire URL. But it is difficult to remember such lengthy URLs. Now, with routing, how it looks like. So with routing, this looks like this. http www.amazon.in/what? electronics/mobiles/Realme. This looks more simple and very clean. This is simple and very clean. This is how routing enables user-friendly URL. What is advantage is a user can even remember the path and he can directly type those details so that he can directly get those details. Earlier it is very difficult. Lot of queries. But now it is more simple. It is very easy for a user to remember exact location and he can access. These are called as what? User-friendly URL. SEO friendly because search engines can easily identify which topic he is currently watching because the names are very clean in which category, which topic he is watching. Search engines can easily understand and user can easily query. This is the advantage of routing. And actually routing is present. Routing is configured. So server side, you have server side routing, and it is client side also. If you are learning any technologies like JSP, Node.js or .NET, you have server side routing. .NET, so and Node.js, these all technologies will teach you server side routing. Server side, how routing works, that in those technologies you will learn. But Angular, React are using client side routing. We have both server side routing and client side. Actually server side technologies will deal with that. That means you have .NET, so you have like Node.js, all these JSP, PHP. So all these people use server side routing. Client side routing, so in Angular, in React, in Vue, like concepts you can handle. This is client side routing. So now you are going to design client side routing. Actually server side routing is done for concept called APIs. You saw fake store, na? Fake store is already using routing. Suppose I want to access fake store products category, jewelry products. How to query jewelry products? http:// fakestore api.com/products/category/ what? That is routing, na? That is routing, right? If it is not routing, it should be like this: http:// api.com/products & category is equal to what? Jewelry, like this. It should be like this. Now it is using routing, so it is more clean. So this is server side routing. They are using this for API. When you do this, what will happen? It will connect with the database, get jewelry products, and it will display. This is server side routing, how it is going to manage, right? So routing is there both client side and server side. And in Angular, actually Angular routing is handled by Angular/router library. One problem is there with this library. It is not developed along with Angular. Angular library is different, route library is different. This is a big headache also. Why? Because we need to keep updated. That means you should not wait until Angular version is changed. Before Angular version is changed, routing version may be changed. That means you will be waiting for next version of Angular, but actually before the next version of Angular, routing may change. After few days, you are trying some routing options. It says this is no longer supported. You may be thinking like, new version not released for Angular, how this is changed? Because routing library is different. It is separately developed. Due to that, what happens? Routing versions are different. That is the reason. That is one of the main reason is actually Angular started with which version? Angular started with 2. Angular JS is 1. Angular started with 2. After that, there is no 3, 4. There is no 3. After that, 4, 5, 6, all are there. 3 not there. 3 version of Angular is not there. And the reason why 3 is not there, that is routing. That means actually what they done, they released Angular core library. Which version? 2. In that they released Angular router library. Angular router library 2 version. But they got some technical issues in that library. Router library. And when they got technical issues in the router library, what they have done, they modified that router. And they made it 3. Angular version is 2 only, but router version changed it to 3 because they have done some modification and released a new one because it was very big problem. They were facing lot of issues in that route. To overcome that problems, so they released a new version immediately. But Angular version is 2 and router version is how much? 3. What should be the next version? Next version, Angular core version will be 3. Understood? Then router version will be how much? Router version changes again, it becomes 4. That means Angular version, router version is one step ahead. This will continue forever, lifelong. That's the reason they decided that, okay, we will solve this problem here only. Next version, we will not release 3, we will directly release 4. That's the reason no Angular 3, directly Angular 4. That is just because of routes. That is because of route, right? Routing library is separately built. Due to that, you should not wait up to the changes of in Angular library. You have to keep update. That means you need to check the website. You need to verify, are they making any changes in the routing? Because by the time you finish your concept of practicing, working and everything, in 1-2 months, one more version may come. And route may change a little bit. That's the reason you need to keep updated. You see, this is our project. In our project, we will go to package JSON file. In package JSON file, router is now currently same version here, 15.1. So 15.1.0, right? But see, all versions are not similar, different now. That means you see material version is 15.1.4. Minor releases will be there. But now it is no problem. Angular core is this version and Angular router is also this version. In older versions, you will see the complete differences. So now they are continuing along with Angular, they are continuing, but minor releases will change. That means 5.1.2, 1.3, 1.4 like that may come if you should not wait until the Angular main version is changed. Routing version may change regularly. Okay. So what is the library provided for routing? Angular router. And for that, you have some important modules. That means, so Angular routing requires following library. So you need a router module. So you need activated route. You need router module, activated route. So you need route and you need router. These are important modules and classes that are required. So you need to configure these all options are required. Route, router, routes, and we have router, outlet. All these are the important libraries required. You have a router link. All these are important libraries. These we will use individually. We will see how to handle them actually. So we have a router module, activated router, routes, and router outlet and router links. So here, let's see how to handle this. How do we work with this? Now, actually, for that, we will create a separate project now. Why? Because already our project is having a lot of components. We will build a new project. And while creating project itself, it will ask, do you want routing? Right? So if you want routing, you can just accept routing. Nothing but it will add one file. If you don't select routing, which I already showed you that in our current project, we haven't added routing. So manually you have to add routing. How to manually add routing? We need to manually add a file. That means what we have to do, go to this file app folder. In the app folder, you have to just add a new file, and the file will be app routing.module.ts. App routing module.ts. Like this, you need to have. And you need to import all the routing module and configure it. That means we need to import routing module. You have to write the routes manually. Manually also, I will show you how we can do that. But while creating project itself, it will ask, do you want routing? Then if you select yes, this file will be added automatically. Just I showed you through commands you can add, or you can add manually. Services, pipes, everything are available through commands or through manual. Manual means you have to import the classes, you have to write them, right? Now we will not use this project. Let's create a new project so that you can understand clearly. So this is our workspace. In the workspace, okay, you see currently project is running. Just stop this project, Control C. It will stop, terminates. Otherwise, what happens if you keep this project running and run another project, then it will change port numbers, 4002, 4001, like that. It says that already server is running, right? So close it. Now here in this workspace, let's create another project. Currently, what is our project name? Shopping. Shopping is the project name. We will create another project. In same workspace, you can have any number of projects. So how to create a new application? So ng generate application. Ng generate application name. Suppose I give Amazon something. Now you can see when you generate another application in the same workspace, it is asking, would you like to add Angular routing? First question is that. And now we need Angular routing. Just we will use yes. Now it is asking which CSS? CSS. And it is going to create a project for you. That is adding a project. So now in our workspace, two projects are there. One is Amazon, another one shop. Okay, now Amazon project is also ready. It has its own environment, same like shop. It have its own app, resources, everything, source, app, everything same. It is a separate project now. We have a different project, but extra you will see in this app folder, you will find app routing module is there. And just what you have to do is you need to write this. You have to import ng module. You have to use router module, and you have to use routes. This is already configured. A decorator is required ng module. We have to import router module for routes. So for root means already we learned service na. For root, for child, for any. For root means application. For child means module. So here it is exporting the router module. Now important, this is already configured. This router module is already configured. It is just giving. So you need to create the routes here. How do we create the routes? Let's see. What are the routes? How the routes are created? What is the concept behind this? Let's see. First important is we are generating a new application. So here I am creating a new application. So example, this is create a new project in workspace. So for that you have to use ng generate application and application name, some Amazon. So you will be asked, would you like to use routing? Here we have to choose Yes. Right? Routing or router module you want to add, then you have to use yes. Right? Now, once it is done, a new file, so a new file is added into app folder. What is that file name? It will be app routing.module.ts. Now here we need to configure the routes. All the routes need to be configured. You remembered I explained a flow in component lifecycle. While discussing component lifecycle, I explained a flow. In that flow, you remembered route table, route engine. I explained na? That means where is it? I explained a route table and route engine for you. Angular hooks, huh? Yeah. In this, I explained this concept, if you remember. Huh? Remember this now? That means when client makes a request, the request will come to server. The request will be processed by handler. Handler will make use of which engine? Routing engine. Routing engine will verify whether the requested path is available or not. From where it will verify? Route table. So you have to create a route table now. This route table is already, actually route table contains collection of routes. And that route table is created here. This is collection of routes. That is where we create the route table. In this table, we will mention what components we are having and how to access them. That means what are the components we are having and how to access those components. So let's create one example. That means let's create a simple interface. Let's see how to handle that. So that means what are the components we are having and how to access. Let's see. Now we will create a simple design. I will use Bootstrap in this. Then we have to go to style.css. In style.css, we have to import. So we have to import. So import from where? Dot dot slash node modules bootstrap dist css bootstrap dot css. That is the advantage of using a workspace, because you don't need to install again for here, because you installed for workspace, you can access from anywhere. Any project can access. Another one we need to import. What is it? Dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash. This is node modules. Bootstrap icons font icons dot css. Okay, now Bootstrap is working for your project. Now what we have to do is observe carefully here. Currently application starts with app component. Application is starting with app component. You can put any component you want. We can ignore that and we can put our own components. Let's create one design. What we will do is, so I will create a design like this. Let's take example here. Getbootstrap.com. In this we have themes. You see ready-made themes are there. Website themes, these are. You see shopper theme is there. So I want to create a theme like this. That means a page like this. That means at the top header will be there. And user clicks home or shop or anything. When user clicks on it, those relative content should open below. That means we will make use of fake store. We learned fake store. We have fake store. We will make use of that. That means we will try to implement this. Means just a basic outline. Let's create here. For that, we need lot of components. I will use here. See, what I am doing is first step. I will add here, go to app folder, put a separate folder called components. Components is the folder, and open the components folder, and here add your components that you want. I will give here as this I given as Amazon. Okay. I will just give here ng generate component. The component name is Amazon index. Amazon index. That means application starts with this Amazon index. Okay, skip test. Fine. One component is Amazon index. Okay. Next we have Amazon home. In this Amazon home, I should able to display all products. I have another Amazon jewelry. Amazon jewelry. In this only jewelry products must come like this categories. I have another one. What is it? Amazon electronics. Okay. Only electronics should come. Okay. I am using like Amazon men's. Okay. And Amazon women. So I am adding so many components now. Amazon women. All this we have defined. We are configuring like this. Now what we need to do is simple here. Let's see. This is all the components we are having. So what I want to do is let's start with which one? Amazon index. So let's keep that in the startup. In the startup, it should start with Amazon index component. And here we need to define index. Index Amazon index. Amazon index. Okay, this is Amazon index. Fine. Let's start this project. So how to run the project? Ng serve project is equal to this time Amazon. We are starting that Amazon project. It is starting with Amazon index page. Let's design the index page. Now, when you are designing this index page, so see the first thing you have to do. Now, for your project, you have to create this route table. What are the components available? For these components, you have to create this route table. Where to create this route table? The route table is created. Let's go. It is created in which file? App routing module. This is app routing module. In this, you have to create the route table. How to create the route table? There is a routes collection. In the routes collection, every item is an object. In that object, first one, what is the path you are expecting? From client side, what is the path you are expecting? You have to write path. What is the path I am expecting? I am expecting the path as home. If anybody requests home, which component should be delivered to him? We have to write component name, right? Component. Which component to be delivered? Amazon home. We have to use that Amazon home component. You have to import that and keep it. That's it. That means now you have to create a table for all the components that you have. That means what is the path? What is the next path? Next path is what? Jewelry. If jewelry, then component. Which component to come? Amazon jewelry component should come. Similarly, the next path. Next path is electronics. Electronics. There is no order. You can define any. This is Amazon electronics. Okay, what is the next one? Next path. Next path is men's. men's component. Which component to come? Amazon men's component to come. Okay. Another one is path. So another path is women. So which component to come? So Amazon women component should come. So all the routes are configured. That means what is the request, on that request what to deliver. And interestingly, these paths will be directly working for you. You see, let's open here. Let's open here. And when I open localhost and you see Amazon index working now, observe carefully. I will put in the URL slash. I will type here men's and it will get, so it should get that men's and display. Currently route is there, but where to display that men's, that you have to decide. Route is configured. Where to display that? I want to display in the index. Where to display this? Where to display the result of this? That is called, we decide that by using a concept called outlet. Route outlet will be there. What is outlet? It indicates where to show you this. You requested, where should I show this? That is decided by outlet. Outlet. So see now, in the index page, you need to keep one outlet, right? Let's check that and see. Initially, index page is coming. Let's design that index page. I am creating the index page. Let's go to Amazon index. In that Amazon index HTML, let's design. Here we are creating a simple div. And this div will have a class. And here we are having a class container fluid. And I will keep a header. In the header, I am just keeping the class margin top. And we will put some BG dark. So, and we will say text, justify deflux, justify content center, content between, like this I define. Now here I am adding a div. In that heading is there shopper. So, and here we are having another div. So there we will put some links. I will show you that. We will put a span. Later we will put that. And another div is present. And here we will put a span like class BI. So BI some heart. So another span like class BI. So BI some person. Like this we added something. Span class BI. So BI like some search. All these things we have defined. Actually, you can see the index comes like this. We will keep text white. It is going to display like this and we will use padding 2. So that will be fine. This is the content we have at the top. And here we have margin E2. That is margin end. We are using margin end 2 and it is there. Now some space is also present. Now what we want here is, so we want here result to display below. That means where you want to display the result below, we will create a section. When user is requesting anything, we need to display here class margin top 3 or 4 I will give. Here we have to display. So here we have to write outlet, router outlet. Router outlet indicates where should I display your requested content. This is the location where we have to display. That means we need to create a outlet location. And when you define router outlet, now you see request there top as men's. It should get that men's and show here. That means Amazon men's works. And in the URL, I am requesting women. It will get women works. That means you are requesting in the URL. And very important, if I am not requesting anything, it is empty. It should not be empty. If user is not requesting anything, then it should load home page first. By default, home should come. Then in the route table, you can configure the routes like this. We call path. If path is empty, that means they haven't mentioned the path. Then you can access the component called home. But home is already mentioned. If it is mentioned, we will not call it again. Memory will be overload. Then what we can do is we can redirect to home if it is requested, because it is already mentioned. So when user requests home, home will come. But without requesting also, home should come. Then actually what we do is, instead of this path is defined, we will use here redirect. We use redirect to. Redirect to which location? It should redirect to home location. It should redirect to home. And actually in home, lot of path may be defined. It should match the complete path of that home. Then we use another attribute called path match. Path match, we have to write full. That means it should match the complete path and it will return it. So we can write component home component, but again it will load, memory will overload. Without overloading, we can redirect. That means now see, if user is not requesting anything, by default home comes. You see here, I am using mens. Okay, mens comes here. I am removing here and hit enter. Then by default home will come. If user is not requesting anything, by default it will get that home and display. This is one point. Another is, sometimes you requested kids. There is no kids. Na? If user is requesting something which is not there, then we can display some error component also. We can display error component. For example, you see now, let's add one component. I will add a component, ng generate component not found. Okay. Skip test. We are generating a component called not found. Oh, it is shopping. Huh? We have to add in this. Na? I will terminate that. Okay. Here in our location only. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Now here I will generate in Amazon, right? ng generate component. What is it? Not found. Not found is what? Skip test. Okay. Now we are skipping the test. Okay. And in this not found, where is not found? Yeah. Here I will just put a message saying that page you requested, not found. That message I will give. Actually, this kind of messages we give in a code element. We give in a code element. Now, how to display this? In routing module, we can add route in this way. If path is double asterisk, it indicates you requested something which is not there. Then which component to come? It should get which component? Not found component. It should get not found component. That means now what happens is, in the URL, I am requesting some /kids, and it will say not found. You can create your own component to display. Now, user should not request like that. We need links now. We need links. User should not request like this. You need links. It's very simple now. So go to the index. In index, here I want links. Then we will put here, so an anchor. What this anchor? Home. What is the next anchor? So this is like men's fashion. Right? What is the next anchor? This is women's fashion. So what is the next one? That is jewelry. What is the next one? This is electronics. And you see all these are links now. Now what we will do here, for this I am defining here, we are configuring. See, we are using, this is not href because this is not using links, it is using router. Na? We have to use a router link. Router link navigates to which location? Home. This router link navigates to which location? Men's. You have to give the path name. Router link, it should navigate to women. Women. Router link, this should navigate to jewelry. You should correctly match with the path. Router link, which one? Electronics. Now you can add here the class as margin and 2 like this. I am adding the class margin and 2. That means some gap, some space I am keeping here. Now you can see these are the links we are having. Light and generally I will go to the CSS file. Wherever anchor is present, I will put color as white. And I will put text decoration as none. That means no more underline. I will give font size a little bit as 20 pixel. Then it will be fine. It will be in this way. Now what happens is here, so I click on this home, it will get me home. I click on men's fashion, it gets men's fashion, women's fashion, jewelry, electronics. It will get those details. I will use here, what is it? Anchor. So margin right, already margin is there, 20 pixel. So it is okay na? So 30 pixel. So there is no much space. Okay. Now it is fine. Okay. Now this is already margin is defined. All these are anchors in a div. I will put a class. What is it? I will give as nav. And in the CSS, what it is? Dot nav anchors margin right some 30 pixel. And here margin end class we will remove. Because what happens is inline will work if you define inline. Just for the basic spaces only I am giving. Right. Now you can see some gap will be there. That will be better. So now you can see, you click on men's fashion, the men's, women's, jewelry, electronics, everything coming. And important is when you are accessing home, home page is coming without reloading. Without reloading, user can stay on one place and he can get everything onto that location. That means you say men's, women, you can put some content now. That means load the data there. How to load the data? You can try that now. So we can use fetch. You can get the data and display the data. You remembered already we created one service for fetching the data, right? So, but where is that service in another project? Na? What is that project? Shopping. In shopping, which one? In app what? Services. There is a fake store service. This fake store service is having get products, get categories. I want only specific category products. Specific category related products must come. Specific category means I will say, so I will create a method. What is it? So get specific category like this. You can create a service here or you can create a service in your project. Anywhere you can do that. This is going to return all of them. Then specific category. What is it? Observable. What type? Fake store product contract type. It is an array. Am I right? It is an array. Now what we have to do, this dot return this dot http dot what get fake store product contract type array, and here we need to get it from URL. Now very important, this URL specific category, we will put category name as what type string. Into that, now we will pass like this. Here we will put a backtick. What is it? http:// so fake store, we have fake store api.com / what products / what categories, product / category / category name. Category name is coming from the name you passed na. Category name parameter we are using. Understood? That means there is a service method called get specific category. Into that you pass the category name. It will return only those categories. Now I want to use this service in my project here. So you can use services across locations also. Now here point is, now I will show here. Where is it? Index, huh? So index, and index have to display all the area. Where is it? Men's, women's, jewelry. Okay. Let's go to jewelry in the TS file. How to inject a service? You need a constructor. Na? Into that we need to inject service. What is it? Private data. It is what type? Fake store service. You see, fake store service is present in some another project. Am I right? That means there is another project. Which project? Shopping. From there we are accessing the fake store service. Now here we will define. So we will define. So what is that? Public. We will use init also na. Right? What we have to do? Implements on init. Okay. So ng on init. We need to create here. What is the option? We have to create public products. Products is what type? Fake store contract, product contract. It is also coming from another location. Huh? Product contract. What it is? Array. Right? So is equal to array. It is an empty array. You see the contract is coming from another project. Service is coming from another project. Right? And now here, what is that fake store service have to do? On initialization, this dot, data dot, you see all the service methods are available. We need to get a specific category. It is expecting the category name. Category name. What is the category name? Category name we will pass. This is related to jewelry. Na? Jewelry. Jewelry is the category name. And dot we have subscribe. Subscribe method will get the data and it will apply to this dot products is equal to data. This is how we are accessing service and using it. We discussed that is the advantage of service. You can access across projects if you configured in the workspace. Now this data need to be displayed now. Go to jewelry HTML. We need to display all the jewelry products. Temporarily what I will do is I will just create a div and a class container fluid. I will not display all the details. Just I will put images. Huh? I will keep an div. So here we will keep an image element class as dflex. So we will put flex wrap. Okay. And here we need to define a div. In the div we need to keep an image. What is, and this div have to repeat. What is that? ng for let item of what is the collection? Products. Products is the collection. For every item I need to display source. Item dot what? Image. I have to use item dot image. So width is some 100 200 and height also 200. Like this I define. Now I will keep a class here as margin 2. All directions margin will be 2. This is jewelry products. I click on jewelry. It should get and display all the jewelry products and show. Any problem? You click on jewelry and some error is coming. It is having null injector. That means provider is not defined for fake store service. Where is provider? Provider is in this application level. There we given provider. So here we have to go to app module. In the providers, what is it? Fake store service. The provider is defined at fake store service. And jewelry, so it is not coming. Let's check there. Wait, what we given? I think there we given root. Where is fake store service? Yeah. Fake store service, it is using which one? It root level. It should be any level. Am I right? Provided in what? Any. Still it is having a problem. So here we will keep. Actually, the module is not imported. We'll go to app modules. Here that service is there, right? And we will put here now. What is it? Fake store service. Some problem. Null injector problem is there. I will do one thing. Let me copy this. Where is it in the project? Shopping project, right? In shopping project, services, fake store service. And here, the contracts path wrong. Contracts. Fake store service contract. The path is wrong. Let's check. Woman works. Still there is a problem in that. Let's check where is the problem. Injector problem means provider only. App module, where is that app module? in app module, it is not from here. We need to import. What is it? Fake store service. From the services, we need to import null injector. So it should get that injector here. Here in jewelry also, these are from another location. Yeah, this is not here. You have to import. What is it? Fake store service. And you have to import this also. Contract. Path is wrong. I am just adjusting the path. Fake store product contract. Okay. Now jewelry still. Where we given that path. Injector problem means service problem. Services. Acha, here I am using HTTP client, but yeah, we forgot lot of things. We haven't imported HTTP module. Am I right? HTTP client module also you have to import. Nah? Only using that service is not enough. Huh? We have to import that, right? And we need to define fake store service, right? All these are required. We are missing with HTTP client module. That is the problem. We are using service fine, but we forgot to import the HTTP client module. HTTP client module, because it's a new project now. In this project, we have to import all the modules related to that, right? Now it is working fine. Same logic you can implement everywhere. That means when user clicks on men's, women's, electronics, I click on jewelry, the jewelry products will load. Now user clicks on men's can load, women can load, right? Now we will implement this with a simple example. Complete end-to-end, one complete template design we will do. That we'll see tomorrow. Right, in tomorrow's session, we will design a complete end-to-end project. And this end-to-end project, we should able to deploy. Deploy means make it live with the routing, and we can make it live so that everyone can use it, everyone can see it, right? Deployment, how it happens. That we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay, right.